What's going on, guys? Before we get into the video, if you're one of these 87% of people, they're not yet subscribed to this YouTube channel, what are you doing? Go down below, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and hit that like button below so this video gets shared with other people. Now let's get straight into the video. What's going on, guys? We're back with a brand new video. Today's video will be redrafting the 2017 draft class. It's been like 3 years since the players have all come into the league, so let's review. There's still time for some of these players in this draft class to still make it in the AFL, but there's a few that have fallen out of the top 10 that everyone thought would be in the top 10. So yeah, let's go to the rankings. And the number one, no surprise that it is Tim Kelly. He got traded to West Coast this year. He had a pretty good season for his first year at West Coast, probably not up to the standard that he had at Geelong, but still I reckon he's hands down the best player in this draft. He is older, so if you're looking for potential, maybe not pick Tim Kelly, because there could be midfielders that end up better in this draft class. But right now, you cannot go past Tim Kelly. He's the best player in this draft class, and also came, like, I think top 5 in the Brownlow in 2018 or 19, with one of his first years of football. But he currently is 26, which is a downfall of him. But either way, I reckon he would go the number 1 pick if this draft was redone again. Next up is Aaron Norton, who arguably could win the Coleman Medal this year or next year, whenever you want to say, which is, he's literally broke out in the scene. He got drafted as a pick 9 as a centre-half back. He was meant to play like Jeremy McGovern, but broke out. Now he's one of the best contested marks in the game, leading the contested marks in 2019. He was injured this year for half the season, so you can't really judge him off this year. But either way, he still played good in the games that he played. He kicked 6 goals against Adelaide, which was absolutely ridiculous, and kept up his impressive contested marking. So yeah, this bloke is ready to explode next year if he can stay healthy. That's about the only problem with him. So I have him going pick 2 as easily the best forward in this draft. Alright, number 3 pick, I've got Hunter Clark. This one is more based off potential and what he's shown so far. He has shown in the games that he's played that he has ridiculous composure, can kick on both feet. He's an absolute star. He plays half back, and he's played a little bit more midfield than he has the past few years in the St Kilda side. And obviously you've seen St Kilda have absolutely boosted up the ladder. So, and this bloke and the young stars coming out of this draft also have helped lead this team to glory. So, Hunter Clark, he's compared to Scott Pennebury in the end. If you watch him, you'll see why. His composure in the contest, he never looks flustered, and he probably hasn't shown any top 3 pick worthy yet, but his potential is absolutely showing. So if he plays like how he's projected to, he'll definitely be top 3 in this draft. Next up, we've got the cult figure himself, Flying Ryan, who is one of the most dangerous small forwards in the AFL currently. Was an All-Australian this year, and bet out Dan Butler and Tom Papley for the All-Australian spot. He's a bit different than any other small forward. He's someone that can actually like a jumping small forward that has crazy athleticism. Usually small forwards stay on the ground, they get the crumbs, but this bloke's a bloke jumping for the packs, and he helps out Josh Kennedy and Jack Darling so much, and he'll be there for the future. He's an absolute steal. I think he was around the 20th pick or something in the draft, so to move up to the 4th pick is absolutely crazy. The only reason I haven't put him higher as being, I think, one of the only All-Australians in this list is because that I feel like he's closer to his potential because he is a small forward. What he's doing now is probably all he's going to do for the rest of his career, which is not a bad level. I'm not saying it's a bad level, like he's playing at an elite level, just I don't think he can get much better than what he is now. So that's why I have him at number 4. Next up, we have Jaidyn Stephenson, who was the 2018 NAB Rising Star, but for the past 2 years after his little betting incident, he's kind of had a real backward step in his career. People calling him soft, not having the endurance to run at a game, which was his strength. So he had kind of a bad year, which kind of, you can't really blame the man after they were in like the bubble pretty much for like pretty much the whole year. So a lot of players had a backward step, but it got him cause to get traded away from Collingwood. And who would have thought he would have got traded away at Collingwood after the end of 2018 when he looked like one of the best small forwards in the comp, and he was only like 19 years old. But now he's moved to North, and he could have another great year like he did in 2018, especially with the lack of talent on the North list, or they have the rising talent. But this bloke could really explode at North. So, but I have to chuck him, I think I chucked him 5th, just simply because that after 2018, when he probably would have been the best player in this draft hands down, but he's kind of at a backward step, so I put him at 5th. But if he goes back to his best, he could easily be the best player in this draft. At number 6, we do have James Worpal, who probably a year ago you would have thought he's probably top 3 in the draft, but recently he's had quite a slow season, I guess, but no real surprise since that Hawthorn did have a shocker of a season. But I think that what puts him apart is that you probably think he's already hit his peak early on, and his lack of like scoreboard pressure. He had one game where I think he kicked like 3 goals and he didn't kick goal for like the whole season. I think I could be missing it, but I think that's what happened this year. But he is a very good midfielder. Like probably he's the most promising midfielder on the Hawthorn list, or the young midfielder, because they don't really have too many young midfielders right now. So he is a star, something to look forward to for Hawthorn fans. Everyone remembers that goal on Michael Hurley to win the game, I think in 2018, when everyone's like, oh, this bloke's a gun. But I feel like after that he kind of did get a little bit overrated, but he's still, I reckon, the 6th best player in this draft. But I feel like he's hit his peak too early. Like, I feel like he can't really get better than what he is right now. He could prove us wrong, but that's just what I reckon. I feel like he's already hit his peak, and he can't get too much better than what he is right now. So that's why he's number 6. Next up, we do have at number 7, the bloke that had an absolute breakout year for the Saints this year. Coming into this year, there was a lot of question marks about him because he hasn't really shown anything in his AFL career. He was just looked at as pretty much like a soft player because he was just on the outside, never went back with the contest, lacked confidence. But then this year, he just got confidence out of nowhere, and he's shown to be one of the best intercept markers in the game. I think he was top 3 in intercept marks this year, averaging almost, I think, over 3 a game, which is absolutely ridiculous. He's in elite category with marks, and at this stage, you think he's in the territory of like a potential to be like a Nick Haynes or a smaller Jeremy McGovern. He has that type of intercept marking ability, and his kicking is absolutely ridiculous, and he really kind of showed how St Kilda pushed up the ladder this year, not with just their new recruits, but Hunter Clark, Ben Patton, and Hunter Clark, all from this draft class, turning it on and showing their potential. And this bloke had an absolute breakout year, so that's why he is number 7. Next up, we do have Andrew Brayshaw, who absolutely had a breakout year this year, as long with Coffield, that was the last pick. But I feel like, for being in pick 2, he kind of has not lived up to expectations quite yet. He's starting to live up to his expectations this year, with Freo being better than expected, with the likes of Adam Cerra and Andrew Brayshaw stepping up from this draft, which he did show his potential. He's shown what he came in here for, so he's not a bad player, because this draft, what I've realised, was absolutely stacked with talent. That's why I picked to do this draft. So he's not a bad player. I'm just saying he's probably the 8th best player in the draft, especially with the expectations that he had coming into his draft. So yeah, let's go to pick 9. Next up is the original number 1 pick, Cam Rayner. Cam Rayner's kind of had a slow start to his career. Everyone thinks he was kind of like built to just come in and have an impact early. It's not like he has not an impact, it's just that he's not living up to what everyone thought he was going to live up to so far. Because medium forwards that like are meant to build into midfielders usually take a little bit to like turn on. Like Dustin Martin didn't really turn on until 4 years ago. In that 2017 year was pretty much his first like superstar year. And then same with Petrarca. This year was his first good year. He was kind of an average player until this year. So Cam Rayner could have a few more years of just being average and then turn it on like every other medium forward seems to do when they're highly touted like them boys were. So he's not a bad player. This draft is actually really stacked, but it's just that he's probably the 9th best player currently, but he could easily be the best player in a couple of years. And the last is Adam Cerra, who was not a player that recently broke out. He was kind of like an average player, but this year, him and Andrew Brayshaw, that was also in this draft, absolutely broke out into the midfield, which caused Fife to not even play midfield half the year, which is really good to show for Fremantle that their young talent is coming through and they can't just rely on that Fife every year to get all the disposals. So it's great for Fremantle, but he's probably not what he's expected to have done so far in his career. He was around the top 5 picks, but in the redraft, he's probably the 5th best player in this draft. The 10th best player in this draft, which is not a bad thing. This draft is really stacked, and he's showing absolute great potential this year. He was playing like an absolute gun, great use of the ball. He's a great kick of the footy. So yeah, he's probably the 10th best player in the draft. yes, that's the video, guys. Comment down below what draft I should do next, because it was actually very enjoyable making this video. Do your top 10 below, because I probably definitely did not get this right. It was just all in my opinion. But you comment down below what your top 10 would be, and then I'll probably do yours next if you comment down what draft you want me to do next. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to drop a like on this video. Make sure to drop a subscribe and turn on that notification bell and comment down below. And thanks for watching.